because the more people subscribe, the more the algorithm sends out to more viewers. Those viewers can join this growing community, post tips and tricks, or they can post requests, which I'll review, and then I'll share with everyone. All right, on to the intro. It says Procedural 3D for beginners. Okay, so this is going to be hopefully a quick tutorial on with the show. Okay, so I think hopefully this is working. Yes, it is. Perfect. Okay. All right, so what we're going to do today is I've done, I think, one or two other procedural. Oh yeah, I did like procedural textures before. I did, I think, another one. I did some type of stars. Oh yeah, snow. I think I did snow as well. So what that means is that you don't need to have your own textures. Everything will be done. If everything needs to be baked, to be baked as well, and all generated in Blender using noise. That's basically for materials. And then for the other part of the procedural part is that sometimes, for example, you need to let's say you're making a game, so you need to generate a whole bunch of characters. They're the same. It could be trees, it could be anything. So you want to basically duplicate them, but you don't want to do it like in a simple loop or one by one, because it will take a very long time. That's where procedural stuff comes in. Now there's sometimes that some of the stuff in Blender you cannot export it. So in that case, you need to come up with a workaround. In that case, you can use a loop, which is perfectly fine. So essentially, we're going to use a logarithmic spiral formula to generate the galaxy arms. The math places points along a curved path using a random module to organize organic noise. This makes the star distribution look very natural. Vertices are also stored in a single mesh object. This keeps the file small for the web. So as you can see here, you can make as many as you want without running into resource limitations. As you can see here, there's several of them. I didn't have time to create a better, what do you call it, the HDR image. So I just used, I believe this is the sunset. I think I used the sunset one. Yeah, this is the sunset one, the sun going on. So that's the one I used. Obviously, this should have been a more darker texture, but I said I didn't have time. I think that maybe that's how I'll start doing this kind of stuff for a future when we do the AI stuff. I'll see if I can generate one AI using AI, or maybe in Blender as well, and then we can use our own HDR images without having to rely on third parties. Although this one's like coming from Blender as well. I think that will be for a future tutorial. Okay, so yeah, then we export it in a web optimized format. Obviously, we're going to use a GLTF file, which is JSON format, but you can get the B version, which is the binary one. So binary, everything will be in one file. Okay, and then to display it on the web, as you guys remember, most of last year, I was using the model-viewer, which is also based on Threejs, but I decided to use Threejs. The reason for this is that if you want to, you can use, I'm still using a CDN, but I'm saying is that if you want to tweak things, you can do that. For example, I found a few bugs in the model-viewer, so like, you know what, I'll just use Threejs, and I can, obviously, since I'm a programmer, I can maintain it myself. Okay, so then we're going to use the GLTF loader to load the GLB file, and then add a perspective camera to the view. You can also add a camera from Blender. However, I prefer to add a camera here because the thing is, in Blender, I might use the 4K monitor or larger monitor, so I can put things exactly where I want. But when I'm doing a game or even just a web browser, I need to be able to control it precisely because, for example, if somebody's on a vertical screen like a mobile phone, I want to be able to control it, and I don't want to have my GLB file or the file to be too large. So this is perfectly fine for at this point in time. I'm okay with this Threejs. Okay, then we have some screenshots. You can see as usual ones, the code to generate it, and then this is in the layer view, and it's hard to see because of the glare It's actually sunny again today. It's kind of weird how, though in the middle of winter, it's feeling like spring. It's still cold, but it feels like spring. I had to actually go out today and clear up some more snow, and you can see here a lot of them. And then I had to make some tweaks, which I'll explain when I show you guys the code. And this is the video. We are live. Kind of weird how. There we go. So film this live, and I'm just gonna go and stop right there. That's perfect. Now let's get down to the code here. I'm using Blender 5.0, and I have enabled the social stream ninja. So if you guys want to chat, your chat will show up here. I think there's a slide there, whatever the default is. Oh, why can I grab this? It's the one I want. Okay, so as you can see here, I do have a folder. I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller here, and you would see that. That doesn't really matter. So I have this text file. So this HTML file. I'll show that to you in a second. And as you can see, I'm using the Sunrise EXR. This comes by default in Blender, at least 4.5 and 5. The license that it's used for is a common. It's a common Creative Commons. So I will do a review of that one. I didn't have time to do it last month, but I'll probably put it up pretty soon so people can. I think that'll be a popular license as well. And then this is the Python file. So I'm going to delete this blend file because what I do is when I generate blend files or GLB files, I do everything using Python. So Python will generate the blend file relative to where the Python file is, and it also generates the GLB file. I should actually get it to also start generating the index.html because it's pretty much the same thing all the time. Alright, so delete that, and then I'm going to show you this. So some of you requested that I use an IDE, so I'm going to open this with Guinea. Which they still have that. Yeah, here's Guinea here. Okay, so I'm going to open up with Guinea. What is going on here? Why can't I open up with Guinea? That must be a bug. Oh wow, that is a bug. Can I open one? Open with Guinea? Okay, so I can open one of them with Guinea. I'm actually working on something for a client here. It was an emergency thing. I helped him yesterday. He uses WooCommerce, and I think it's called USPS. The USPS, the Web Tools ones, they removed the IP for that one. He just let me know pretty recently, so I was trying to help him. Okay, so here we go. I'm also going to open up the index.html file. Here we go. I'm going to zoom in. So the usual doc type, HTML tag. I'm not going to talk about styling because that's subjective. You can do whatever you want. I'm using an import map here. You see I'm Threejs. I'm getting the latest version of Threejs, and then I get one add-on. Obviously, you guys know what the add-on is. I'll show you that in a second. You see orbit controls for the camera, the GLTF. This is load the GLB file, and then EXR. This is to load our EXR file. That's for the HDR image. And you see you create a scene here. You guys have seen this before. None of this change. It's exactly the same over and over again. I should actually maybe just stop because this is now my template. So I've gone over this in previous tutorials, but if you're new here, just look at any of the other previous tutorials. The renderer, obviously I'm going to create a canvas here on the screen, and this is where everything will be. And then the controls, so I can control the camera with the mouse, or if I'm on a touch device, I can obviously use a touch screen to do that. The lighting, everything's going to come from the EXR image. That's why we use the EXR loader here. And you set up, you see the texture, we get the environmental map and the scene and all that as well. And then our light, I do add a point light. I do the same thing. I don't know if I'm exporting this from the GLB, maybe I'll start doing that as well. And then I will, the galaxy here, I'm adding this is for the time-based animation. Oh, I had to do some of these things because what happened was, I'll explain it when I show you the Python file. So I had to make a few changes here because what happened was I could not export everything from Blender. So I had to make a few modifications. So I had to then get the specific silver colors for the stars, and yeah. So I'll show you. I'll show you what I mean in a second. And the keyframes as well. So get through all of them. So each of those, the galaxy part, and what else is here? Slipper box. Yeah. So just go around some like think of it as an empty object, and then we animate here, and then we add an event listener. So if the window is resized, we get the new aspect ratio, and then we re-render everything and animate. So that's it. We go to our Python file here. I'm going to zoom in as well. I'm importing the Python Blender Python module, importing math, opening the OS and random. The reason I open the OS is because I want to save the blend file and the GLB file relative to where the Python file is. I don't really need this anymore because now by default it will save it in my home folder. But I want it specific here. It's because sometimes I might use a flat pack, because sometimes the one in Fedora, it's a little bit behind or it's missing a feature. For example, it wasn't until Blender 5.0 that it came with H.265, right? So the other one is H.264, so sometimes I was using the Flatpak version, so that's why I need to know exactly where we are, because in Flatpak it's sandboxed, so that's why I always import the OS. Some utility functions here, we delete all the default, for example, the default cube, the default light, and default camera. The reason I do this as well is because they're usually not rotated in the way I want, so I have to grab them and then rotate them. So it's just easier to delete them and just create your own. And plus, in the future, Blender in the future might not come with anything, right? So relying on those is not a good way. So it's always best to clear and create your own. And this is another function to create materials. So the material could be the galaxy, meaning a little bit of the background, or it could be the stars. So we just pass in the name, the color, and this metallic and roughness values. So this is the default, and then we just return the material. And then to create our galaxy, the first thing was we'll clear the scene. So we'll create a silver material, we'll create a dark blue material. Yes, it's dark blue, it's not black, it's dark blue. And then after that, we create our static objects here for the galaxy. So there's two things. There's obviously the galaxy as well, because the galaxy has like obviously different type of stars, some materials, and some stars. So that's what all this code here does. You can see I'm using a full in loop, and then you see then I create silver stars. So some of them are going to be just the dark blue in the background, and then some of them are going to be the silver stars. Like when you look up at the sky usually at night, you see like a dark blue, and then you see some some lights. So that's what the silver is supposed to represent. Stuff like, for example, the moon will be silver, but then other things will be a little bit darker, not quite black, but just dark, just to give it a nice contrast. Then after that, I add a camera, and what else is here? Add a camera and the output path here. This is for the GeoBF. I didn't see. Does this also create the blend file or not? Generate galaxy. What's the blend file? Huh. That's weird. Does this not create a blend file? Blender file. Did I open the wrong file? Output path. Huh, that's weird. I don't know if this code is correct. This might be some old code. It clearly doesn't create a blend file, but super weird. Okay, so I'm going to run this. Hopefully it does create it. I do have a copy, I believe. Let me make sure I do have a copy here as well. Let's see. It's the same one. Okay. That is super weird that it doesn't export a blend file. Oh, okay, that is weird. Okay. All right, let's close this and let's go to the command line and run it. Hopefully it does. If it doesn't, I'll just bring back the blend file. I might have changed something because it wasn't working. I'll see what I did. All right, so just on the command line, just type blender space -b space capital P space and then the name of the file, the Python file, and then this should generate the GLTF file. Did I hear a bug coming here? I don't know why when it's super sunny there's like always, I don't know how the beetles get in here, those Asian beetles. They're like, oh, it did create the, no, it didn't create the blend file. Yeah, it didn't create the blend file. So I must have changed. I don't know if this actually will work. This valve might actually not work. I think there's a reason yeah, I think there's a reason I think I've had to go modify something, but anywho, oh, I think I can open this in blend file anyway. I can open this GLB file in Blender anyway. So I don't know why I did that. That is so weird. Yeah, that is so weird. Let me open this up in a new window. And I'm going to restore from trash. So I'll open this up in Blender just to show you what it looks like. Oh yeah, just a sec. Yeah, I was right. There's a beetle in here. I have to get rid of the beetle. I don't know how it got in here. It's like probably minus 20 degrees Celsius outside, and that beetle got in here. Alright, so we go to, where we go here? We go to scripting, and you can just dump the code in here, and then it will generate the obviously generate the file and the GOB file. And yeah, so you can see what happened here is we have all these oh yeah, okay. Okay, I know why I didn't create the blend file. I do remember now. There's a reason I didn't create the blend file, and I'll explain to you why. I do recall now. It's because it was crashing. So I was not able to actually open up the blend file. I remember now. Yeah, okay, yeah, it came back to me. The reason, yeah, it was always crashing because I created so many, yeah, so that's why. So I can't actually show you because it might actually crash the computer if it hasn't crashed it already. You know, I apologize for that. I do remember very well now. It just came back to me. Let me actually close this. I can't actually show you. That's why I removed the Blender part, because I'm actually surprised to open up there because it actually crashes because there's too many there are too many of those stars, so it actually does crash. So that's why okay, that's why I removed it from there, because it remind me not to actually, I don't need to generate yeah, it actually does crash. So that's why yeah, that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. So I apologize again. I can't show it to you because right now, for example, running OBS, I have a whole bunch of applications open, browsers, obviously the script as well. So yeah, I can't show that to you because it does actually crash and it might actually slow down the computer. So I don't want to destroy the stream right now. Yeah, I do remember now. There's a reason. Yeah, there's a reason, because there's so many of them, as you saw even in Blender. All those little black spots, that's the galaxy, and then inside that there's the star. So if I try to zoom in or whatever, it would definitely crash. I'm actually surprised it opened up and it was pretty smooth. But yeah, I'm not going to bother with that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Blender, Python HTTP server, server, and what else do I need? 8080. So this allows me to use obviously localhost 127.0.0.1 and whatever the IP address of this workstation is. That's key because I can then grab my phone, laptop, any other device connected network, and I'll be able to connect to this. So that's what we're going to do now. I'm going to open up a new I'm going to use a Chromium browser because Chromium browser does have a WebGL. I do need WebGL for this, so I'm going to show this to you. Let's go up here. I think that's perfect. And I just go to localhost. I go 8080. 8080 should be enough. Something wrong here. Let's go to inspect and see what's going on. Where's inspect? More tools. Developer tools. I don't see an error. Oh, it's still loading. What in the world? Oh, this is, yeah, so that's why. Oh, you see how slow that was? That's what I was trying to say, is that using that GLBL, yeah, that's why I had to make some modifications. You see, ooh, I gotta close this very quickly. So let me close it. Yeah, so there's clearly a problem with that one. So yeah, that's why I was saying, like, I can't open it too long. It takes too many resources. So let me see if I can go back to the trash. Window. I'm gonna grab the one from the trash instead. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. So let me rename this one first. I'll say 2. And I'll grab the one from here. Hopefully this one is restore. I clicked restore. Did it come? Huh. I don't know what happened there. Do. Okay. Restore from trash. I clicked restore from trash, but I don't see it here. Where did it go? I think I have to drag it. I don't know what happened there. Clearly the name is different. X. Paste. Command. Okay. I don't know what's going on here, so I'm going to maybe give this one a different name. Okay. Restore from trash. I don't know why it's not working. Like, what? Restore from trash. It should come here. I do not know what in the world is going on here. When I put the stuff in the trash, it should have come back here. Let me see. Is it there, maybe? Oh, it is there. I can't see it. Okay, so it looks like for whatever reason it is here for some reason. Yeah, so I'm hoping everything is working well and I'm not getting some weird. Okay, hopefully everything is still working. Okay, I'll try again to go to the web browser. Hopefully it works well this time. Yeah, so I said, like, that was maybe not too smart to do that, because yeah, it's I said I should maybe have made it a little bit smaller. Here, localhost 8080. Okay, see that this one loaded up much faster, so I think I zoom in. Yeah, there we go. So I can zoom in. So this one is different from the other one. You see, this is why I made these changes. Otherwise, the tutorial would not have been able to. It would take way too long to load it up. So this is why I did this one. I did a few little tweaks to get this to work, as you can see here. I'm not saying the other one doesn't work. It would work, but maybe if I used my GPU, the dedicated GPU, that would also work. Yeah, I guess that could work too. If I use the dedicated GPU, that might be better. But that would not be fair, because not everybody has, like, you know, UGOs or VRAM and a powerful GPU to run. So this is why I did this one here, and just to show you that there are other ways to get things working the way you want. So let's finish up this tutorial. I'm going to put this onto the side so you guys can admire that. Let's go and buy. If I can actually resize this, I can actually close this one, it's not needed. And I think I can close this one as well. Yeah, I can close that one. Alright, so let's finish this up. As I promised, this tutorial should be short. If you want to take your skills further, I have books. You can search for my books on Amazon, search for Ojambo. The link is also in the description. I also have courses on ojamboshop.com. The link is also in the description. And if you need one-on-one tutorials, you can contact me at ojambo.com/contact, or if you need consultation services, at ojamboservices.com/contact. I also have some other recommended resources. I have a novelette. It's called The Algorithmic Serpent, and that one is available on Amazon right now. It's about an AI scientist who generates an AI system and loses his mind, so he has to gain control of his mind and the AI system. You see, I have a copy of the paperback version right here. Pick it up if you have the means and let me know what you think. It's a novelette. And then I also have this Recession Business Blueprint, which is my latest, greatest book. And that's a guide to help you start a business during the recession. It's a full book. It has all the things you need, tables for budgeting, contacting suppliers, or where you should run the business. There's a lot of text and there's a lot of tables as well. If you have any questions, you can contact me. And for all my books, the ebook version is available for free if you have Kindle Unlimited. Okay, and then if you want to know more about me, I have this blog. Basically, I'm a software engineer. I'm also an author. You can explore my book, again, my bookshop page on Amazon. If you need support, ojamboservices.com. And if you're ready to learn, ojamboshop.com for all your online courses. And you can contact me, use the contact form. Please use the contact form for something related to the topic. For example, today we talked about Blender, Python, procedural, galaxies. All that stuff is perfectly fine to put in the comment. If you want to contact me, the best way to do that is to use the contact forms, ojambo.com/contact, ojamboservices.com/contact, and ojamboshop.com/contact. And if you want to follow me, here are all the channels: Odyssey, Rumble, BitChute, YouTube, Kick, and Twitch. By the way, I'm live streaming to all of them right now as well. Quick reminder that you should subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments, because the more people subscribe, the more the content gets pushed out to more viewers. Those viewers can join this growing community, post tips and tricks, or they can post requests, which I'll review, and then I'll share with everyone. Okay, so that's the end of this tutorial, and I want to remind you that if you ever want to find out what's upcoming, you simply visit ojambo.com. Then you go to the Watch Menu Live Summit. You can see we've just finished this one, the Procedural Galaxy Generation. And then tomorrow we're going to talk about tiny encoders for AI. So that one is just going to be a talk. There's not going to be any programming. Don't worry about it. So that's more of a podcast for the tech rants. And then after that, we will generate a puzzle called a SKU using AI from an AI chat. And then after that, we'll actually optimize it. And then after that, we'll actually use I'll show you what tiny encoders to use for the WAN models to speed up. We're going to use stable hyphen diffusion. So if you don't have, if you just have a CPU, for example, a laptop only, no GPU, that's a great tutorial. I'll show you can actually generate videos. Yes, you heard me right, videos, yes. You don't need any Python, just C++, and I'll show you. And if you have Vulkan, just speed up as well. I'll show you how to do that as well. And then there's other tutorials after that as well. So with that said, checking the live chat, I think there was just that usual spam telling me to promote my, I think my Kick channel. Other than that, I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm actually going to revamp the Ojambo Services website today, and then I will, as I said, I do have some work from a client, and then I don't think I have time to do a live stream tonight, but if I do finish, maybe that could be a nice discussion. Other than that,